Right, that's as much as I want to do on this bit. It's had a bit of a clean up. Hinge is a bit excessive, but ideally I wanted one with 3 segments. As is, that could just come off and I could lose that. But what I might do is put a bit of a stop this side. So this should fit in there. So still sticking with this extension from the first video, but it is much shorter now. And now I have a means to completely blank it off, because if you remember, I had like 40 or 50% of flame coming out here. The feed chute was actually higher than the top of the chimney. So the original extension that was on this, as you can see it's slightly longer, I've squared it off, and now this is going to end up on the top. By shortening that and having it blanked off and raising this a few inch, I'm hoping we'll see significant results, but we are going to find out. So I've had second thoughts removing this top bit here. Reason being, I'm going to really struggle to get those welds in the corners, so taking a little bit off these pins, it's still a good tight fit, so that's going to stay as is. So this was the original top I made in the first video. I want to continue to use this. So to stop this sliding up and down the square tube, I'm going to plonk that on there for now. Use this as a bit of a jig. And then I've got 4 pieces of flat bar I've cleaned up. Get those tacked on and then weld them up. So I think I'm done with this, for now at least. So I've knocked up a bit of a drawer out of scrap 100mm box section and just patched it together. So I could have made an easier job of this by just welding the extra bits of tube on, but I wanted it to be modular, if you like, so I can completely break this down to how it was originally. Also, I might have some other plans for this at a later date. So being able to rip these off are going to be an help there, so just trying to think ahead with it. I might give it a bit of a spruce up with paint and we'll see how it works, eh? Right, so we're up and running. And the flames seem to be staying right at the bottom there. Nothing's coming out here, no smoke, nothing. And I never had this last time round, so just going to see. I'll close that. Right, so I've closed this off. I'm going to play around with the air vent and see if it makes any difference. At the minute it's fully open. Right, so that's the air vent closed. And this bit here is not even hot, so definitely a big improvement from last time round. Open that up again. So it's Christmas Eve now, and the plan was to whack a bit of bacon on here, but the wife's robbed it and took it in work this morning, so it looks like it's going to be eggs again. I think you'll agree there's some improvements here, because I'm getting no flames, no smoke coming out of this anymore. That's not even hot to touch. So prior to this clip here, I'd not hit record, and I'd managed to cook up 2 ropey steaks for the dog, hence the oil spatter everywhere. But yeah, it worked a treat, really happy with it. Now I know this is not going to be one for the purists, but for me, I'm happy with it. So I'm going to call that a result. Definitely performing better than the last one. So let me know your thoughts, be as brutal as you like. I'm going to wrap this up. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching.